Hello folks and welcome back to some more BTS EU series. We've got ProDota versus Burden United. Burden United up one game. I'm Llama Down Under, joined by PQ, and we've already got a Faceless Void pickup.
I'm pretty sure that's based on they want something to deal with a possible wisp. Because it was banned out first game, it got let through this game because they decided to take the Druid instead. Perfectly understandable after what happened last game. Maybe you favor the Venge. Maybe they just got the wisp entirely.
Yeah, I think it's a... I like the Faceless Void pickup. I think it's always a bit dangerous to pick the core so early, but Faceless Void is such a hard offlaner to zone. If even with a Venge with a long stun, you would need another lane partner with a long stun. You need to make sure you chain them perfectly, or you need a long silence. So we'll see if Venge +1, is enough.
Can be, for sure. Because while you say he's hard to kill, he's very easy to zone away once you've got his regen away. Time walks on such a long cooldown. If it's level 1 or level 2, you actually have kill windows as opposed to game drags on,
I
gets
mean,
level 7, suddenly the kill window is 4 seconds.
that's the crux of it, isn't it? Right? You gotta try to zone him out, but that's also incredibly hard to do with the Faceless Void. We'll see exactly how it ends up going. And
Made it a
it's,
lot easier with the Invoker though.
yeah, and now they do end up, I mean, there are some different heroes they could have gone with here, but I do like stealing the Invoker, because when your opponents have the Faceless Void Chronosphere and the Sunstrike, it can be rough.
Oh yeah, team fighting against that is nigh impossible. You have to BKB before he chronos you, and then your BKB is half wasted already, depending how long the duration is. Then you might still have a few spells left. You've also got all the other heroes to worry about.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, so far I am liking what Bowden United are putting out. They also just showed some dominance in the lanes the last game, which makes it hard not to favor them, but we'll see exactly what the drafts hold for each side. And Dazzle gonna be what Bowden United ban out.
Few patches ago, right? I can't really see why.
What? I'm sorry, I missed part of what you said at the beginning.
I can't quite see why they'd ban the Dazzle. Unless they want to go for something or
I
pretty
mean,
much the only thing that comes to mind.
it could just be that they're worried about, I don't know, Faceless Void setting up for full duration weave. I think that's a little ambitious. I'm not so sure as well what the plan is with the Dazzle ban out, but as you said, not something that a lot of people have been worried about for a couple of patches. And maybe it's just a hero Bowden United really don't like playing against.
It definitely is annoying to play against. So if that's their take on it, all means what by all means it's worth a ban.
Now, Broodmother, it's gonna be the Witch Doctor, so Enchantress maybe gonna come out of Bowden.
Dire team pick.
Wish Doctor's just good against a good
Also
ban
good
when they
with
have the
face.
void.
Yeah. I mean, there's like a
The
multitude of
Bane gives them
reasons.
so much sadder. The Invoker also gives him a lot more kill potential on the void because suddenly he can't time walk away from the Venge Stun when he's slept. If you're time walking away from sleep animation, then you're a very sad void.
Yeah, and the Nightmare's a really great spell. It has good range as well, so you can often get it off, be sneaky, especially in that. It's actually a little bit harder against the Dire. I think it's a bit easier to be sneaky on
Reserve time.
Radiant, but we'll see whether they manage to make it work. Now, for Pro Dota to pair, they've already got the Sonic Wave going into the Chronosphere. Would you also still say picking up something like the Gyro?
I could see Gyro. It's not ideal against Bane to some extent Invoker, but it synergizes well what they have. Would again hit a similar window as the rest of the heroes. Their only problem then might be just powers. But if you're winning team fights and your late game is even if not better, you don't have
10
to worry too much
seconds
about the
remaining.
push. They could maybe even pick up something like Erastic just to guarantee a few towers here or
5
there.
seconds
Give
remaining.
themselves the ability to do Roche as well.
Reserve time.
So both lines are actually really kind of keeping it close. ProDota so far do look like they're just going for more of a team fight build. But Bowden, we've seen this type of thing before from teams like Spirit. They could still pick up the Sven here and then an offlane Enchantress and have a really strong push and kind of a decent fighting lineup because of the Sven.
Legion Commander.
Oh,
Alright, so the
Dire
Dazzle
team
ban
pick.
was for a certain reason.
it does look like it. Now, Legion Commander, we've actually been seeing her picked up a lot more recently in Tier 2 Dota. Do you think there's a specific reason for that, PQ?
Good against the early death ball strats with the overwhelming odds nuke, gives you really strong laner in 1v1 situations. This would kind of flag to me that they want to go aggro,
10 seconds
Bench and the
remaining.
Bane +1. They could even just do it with the LC, but I think she would
5
destroy the
seconds
Void
remaining.
1-on-1, so might as well use that as
Reserve
reason of
time.
picking her. And that makes the Dazzle ban like 100% warranted. That was the only hero I could really think of why you would ban Dazzle, so I guess.
I thought maybe they'd had some bad experiences where like Arise hits Sun. That's another thing I wanted to mention. This is gonna be one of our. Arise hasn't been playing much Invoker. Like the Invoker had been let through on this patch for Bowden United, and Bowden United was not picking it. They were. I wouldn't. I don't know whether it's actively avoiding it, but picking stuff like the Lina over, which I think most people agree has slightly less effectiveness. Albeit this match, the Lina is banned out, so that could be it. But I just thought maybe they were like, hey, we hate it when our Sunstrikes miss because of Shallow Grave.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, they definitely won't be missing this game
5
because they have
seconds
a
remaining.
plethora of setup.
Yeah. And now the Wraith King comes out. This is I like it because obviously if you use a lot of your good spells, like maybe use the swap or the Fiend's Grip on the Wraith King and he just comes back, but Legion Commander can still get the dual win, even through Reincarnate.
10 seconds
Yep, and
remaining.
if I'm not wrong, you can also purge the ulti slow
5 seconds remaining.
with the hold pressy attack.
Yeah.
Reserve
But
time.
I would be I don't know, I'm just much more worried about Legion Commander keeps catching him out, even though your Wraith King doesn't get the death, she gets damage.
I think it's good against the rest of the team though, because unless the Invoker opts for the Coswex build, which honestly wouldn't be that bad this game, it really messes with Void and Quap, and Wraith King would pretty much be forced to be running around with a 17 charge stick the entire game because of it. I highly doubt they will though, just they have with the rest of
10
the
seconds remaining.
Exhort kit. They can still deal with the Wraith King in multiple ways.
Dire
Game
team
goes on.
ban. Radiant team
Really
Yeah.
wouldn't be
pick.
surprised if they just went with something as a second support and let the Venge be a core here. She can make a lot of space in the fights. A very, very early game tempo.
They actually ban out the Spectre. I'm just surprised because I think that's really. Yep, there it goes. I was not expecting it to be a. I don't know. I felt like if Bowden were looking for another core already with this lineup, it would be incredibly greedy. And of course, the IO plus the Legion, always a great combo for hey, oh, someone's low, let me motor them and get dual damage.
And it's ridiculous amounts of sustain in the early game as well. But this pretty much sets them up
10
for
seconds remaining.
either a really strong dual lane setup where they go Venge Bane bottom,
5 seconds
that can shut the
remaining.
Void down very easily. LC IO fairly well against Disruptor plus Wraith King. And I don't think the Tusk particularly stops that as long as the IO holds for tether. He can always tether away from the snowball if there's creeps. Or he just positions himself so he's not in a bad way to get caught. Or they could just go aggro into the tri lane with IO Bane, Venge. Win it fairly handily, I might say, as long as they don't give up any level 1 fights. That's when they're like at their absolute weakest, where IOs has no items. If he for a bottle rush. I don't think he would if he's going for a tri-lane, but still weak at level 1. He's just attacks. Ever slow. When the Sunstrike starts coming in, Bane gets both his
10
spells.
seconds remaining.
Io starts getting the balls. They can easily win that lane. And
Yeah.
when you can't roam on the Invoker mid, Invoker does fine against Quap. It evens out a lot more as the levels come in and then goes into his advantage if Quap doesn't manage to kill him at level 6. Obviously, LC will beat Void in a one-on-one.
And if anybody comes through to gank mid with Cold Snap, you can let people get quite close. The Quap might not be able to get away. I'm expecting this to be an Exort Invoker, but there are definitely options, and we've all seen, you know, Tornado into an EMP just does devastating Quaps.
If they do that though, their carry potential is a lot less. The only worry. I suppose he could just go into a right-click build after 1 or 2 utility items,
He
depending
can,
how
I
good his
mean,
game is. So either way, the build will
yeah,
work. It's
there are
just their
options.
preference.
I think it's just a matter of, as you said, how this early game goes. Because if the early game is like going well, I expect full Exort because you'll just be able to take advantage of the duels all around the map. That is a funky effigy.
Really still care about effigies.
I'm just enjoying how the Faceless Void's head is not connected to his body.
Reborn,
That's-
screwed, effigies.
That's some good stuff. Let's not talk about effigies. Anyway, we'll see where folks are headed out to. We've got KNO and the Invoker. We're actually running an aggro. No, we're not. We're just having
I
Io
think they
help
want to
out.
just contest the rune.
Okay. Well, they're about to go get murdered in the face because there are 5 here smoked up. Stand in. Oh, Legion Commander going to end up seeing them. LeBron also caught out. LeBron should be able to tether over, but there is going to be a Wraithfire Blast. No, already
30
used. He could have
seconds to
eaten his
go.
mango, but doesn't want to. And that
Uh,
smoke amounts to nothing.
At least they get the block on the camp, but those kind of smokes are so risky. A, you're walking up into a spot where a hero's possibly just sat here already. If B was slightly quicker on buying their items and just went to that spot, the smoke never like gets that
The
point.
battle
But I
begins.
suppose you've got Tusk, so you can always shatter.
Worthy tribute.
As you said, it could have been a lot better for them. It could also have been a lot worse if they didn't even get there or they took a really bad fight. Which I don't think is actually possible level 1, so scratch the idea.
Yeah. Now, Flo heading down, looking as if he was actually going to try to pull the creeps. I have not seen Facelesses try to do this before.
That's
But
really smart, actually.
I'm
He knows the Bane will go mid-level 1. But that's what he assumes.
I'm just surprised. It's not something we get to see too often on this hero. And Bane is here, so of course he doesn't have to worry about getting ganked. Top being a dual lane. Now this is one I wasn't expecting up here.
It gave them options.
Oh,
Unfortunately, the
gosh.
Whispers...
In a lot of trouble, he's going to be taking quite a bit of damage. Glimpsed back, LeBron eating fairy fires, trying to walk it off. Goes in for the attack. And I think, unfortunately, that has given up the Wisp's life with no overwhelming odds for 5 seconds. Tusk should be fine.
Yeah, and as long as that doesn't happen again until they hit level 2, the lane's still in an okay position. Because they'll be able to put a lot of pressure with this. If the Tusk isn't allowed to go mid, it pretty much allows the Invoker to do whatever he wants in the lane. No one's helping the Void bottom. He's not getting that much farm. He got all the CS from the first pull. At least it looked like it, but now the lane's going to go back to him suffering.
It's what you mentioned earlier. If you apply pressure to the other lanes, the rotations aren't going to come in. Axmo is taking so much damage from Arise. The Sunstrike going to be off the mark. Wouldn't have been enough to kill anyway with the salve coming out, but holy Hannah, there was a lot of harassment. And now Legion Commander again looking for a kill here. She's going in onto Roger, but they get the stun at the last second. LeBron Dota does manage to get the last hit. Now he's kind of off in no man's land, but Furion, oh, the counter attack comes out. And can they find another? 2 kills already in favor of the Radiant. Sunlight getting very low. They just need one more auto attack. And this top lane, it's a disaster for ProDota.
Disasterific.
Dire's top
Jesus,
tower
that's
under
like
attack.
900.
exactly what can't happen for them. They did a good job of getting the kill level 1, but this lane is just like, as soon as you've experienced it in a pub, you realize how easy it is for them to punish your mistakes. When you make them and that happens, it just snowballs so quickly out of control. Now the Wisp has this bottle level 3, LC level 3 as well. Still doesn't have press the attack because they don't feel they need it.
Yeah, I mean, I actually really like this build. We've been seeing this a lot on Legion Commandos, on this. I don't know whether it's this patch, whether it's the matchup she's facing, but of course, having more points in the moment of courage against a tri-lane makes a lot of sense.
They don't deal with this very quickly with a few kills. She's just going to be a complete house.
Okay, the IO's going in, has the balls up, taking a lot of damage here, though the creeps are helping out, overwhelming odds, not gonna be enough. Sunlight is taking damage, she has the press the attack if she needs it. She hasn't used it yet, she's just going in. The Sunstrike is gonna help her get another kill here as well. She needs to find Roger, gets rid of his salve, one more auto attack, the Orb of Venom doing so much work, and now the overwhelming odds at the ready. She decides to back on out and use her salve.
That looked like the worst possible way they could take the fight as well. Wisp just tethers into 3 heroes and dies, and then the LC still gets 2 kills.
And they get flow on the bottom. Yeah, I don't understand. The IO was blown up, was being attacked by neutrals and the Dire, and they still win the fight.
Sunstrike helps out a lot there though, so it probably would have just been 1 kill if it wasn't for that. And now they're actually trying to fight him, but it's close, because Wisp will come in.
This is a level 5, 4 minutes in. Legion Commander, the tether has been broken, but she gets the moment of courage procs. She gets one, they just need one more auto attack on her. The balls are coming out from the IO, needs to expand them up again, and Coon going back in, we'll see what, oh, she pops some regen, or I think the one charge pop from the IO brings her back up. She's gonna be level 6 like 5 minutes in.
Yeah, and now this DD Quap has to salvage the situation. If she dies, it's as bleak as you can hope for.
Oh gosh, we've got Legion Commander just standing and fighting, and Quap realizing she has to back away.
Yep, and this game is just going to be so skewed from this lane now. They have to put so much attention on it. As soon as Void gets level 6, I really wouldn't be surprised if he just goes in Chrono's top. But again, that's so obvious when he does that. They'll play around it, and then his rotation should just be wasted. Bench gets a lot of space. Invoker maybe even goes for a counter gang, or just pushes the tower. There's so many options for BU now just because of how well that lane went. He's not even CSing the best, but his other 2 cores are dominating the charts, and he's just killing heroes.
Yeah.
Making tons of space.
Legion Commander waits for the IO to come back. They actually have a ward here now for ProDota behind, so they have some idea of where she is. But she's already level 6. And unless she throws away some dual damage, this is just looking like Legion Commander's well on the way to the snowball.
Yep, this is ideal for her. Probably even just kill the Wraith King under the tower here.
Yeah, she might go in for it. The Disrupt is a little bit easier of a target. She's gonna go put some autos in. Oh, she actually goes for the duel, but this is no way going to latch because of the glimpse backwards. At the same time, Venge does manage to kill a Faceless. We've got TPs in to top. It's looking like the Quap coming in. She does not have Sonic Wave yet. LeBron Dota taking a lot of damage here, but they may just be able to get this. Overwhelming odds, again doing good work. There is no press the attack yet, but Axmo goes down, and now with so many units attacking her, the Legion Commander is probably gonna be getting more moment of courage procs. This is ridiculous. The Tusk dies elsewhere too, or was that? Yeah, the Tusk dies elsewhere.
What can you say? Like, Pop goes up there without level 6, the rotation goes to Pot. They might kill the Legion here because they're going in with the Tusk.
But they're trying for it. She does have 1 charges. Now they're 10. She's not going to be able to get them off. She does finally. She could throw out... Oh, she gets the turnaround. And she goes for the duel even with so many units around. The Sunstrike will hit. And that's the first winner of the game.
They really need to just calm down right now. They're trying to deal with this lane by killing it. And every time they go for it, the Wisp is there. He lives because he has stick charges or a multitude of things goes bad for them. They really need to slow this game down, let the Void come in. Unfortunately, he's about to die again.
Yeah, the Void has not been having an easy time in that bottom lane either. We haven't had much time to focus on it because top is so full of action, but they are getting it done. We're going to be seeing a glimpse back, so no duel this time. Legion Commander still ready to go in, and she may just end up taking down this tower.
Dire's top tower is under
It's better
attack.
that she takes the tower and they let the lane
Radiant's
push in
middle
than
tower
they
is
keep
under
trying to
attack.
contest it.
Dire's structures
I
Right now,
don't-
the Tusk keeps coming top. The Wraith
Dire's
King
top
obviously
tower
has
is
nowhere
under
else
attack.
to go, but right now, it's hard for them.
Dire's bottom
I
tower
don't
And
think
at
I've
least
ever
they're
seen a
slowing it down.
Legion this big. Like,
This is just a stomp, honestly. This is something that won't happen in most games.
even when Legion was in the meta, you know, back when Bone 7 was like the king of Legion. However,
Yeah, when you say in meta, that's because Bone 7 was on Cloud 9, though.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think he was
yeah.
drafting. So.
Okay, so
Can't
back
really
when
tell
Bone
exactly,
7
though.
was playing a lot of Tier 1 Dota, right, I don't think even he has had a Legion Commander this, like, such a good game.
No, because he was playing against teams that dealt with it a lot better than this, and that's all it comes down to. These things are very easy to stop happening when you just realize what you're doing wrong. Keep fighting into a lane that's stronger than you, you're going to keep losing. You made a few positional quote-unquote errors that turned out to get you killed. You just kind of have to respect him as a player, that he wouldn't stand there if he can't turn it around or if he doesn't feel safe. Now that they've got the Void 6, they can maybe make some things happen in conjunction with the pop-up.
Well, the
It's
Void's
like,
jungling. The stun comes out, so they're not looking like they're getting a duel today. Legion Commander, she's still going for it, thinking about it under tower. Decides against it.
as soon as she kills these creeps as well, she's probably going to get the blink up and go for another quick duel.
Now, if
I
they can
wouldn't be
get this
surprised
kill...
if she went for a different item, though. Because she's so far ahead, she could go for something like Armlet.
Io is going to tether back to the Legion Commander, gets some stuff purged off. Legion going in, that's the blink, he's going in on Axmo, that Sunstrike completely off the mark, not able to get the kill, but the Fiend's Grip comes in, they're gonna disable the Io, but still, oh wow, Quap dies to a neutral, really impressive there that she blunk up into there and killed herself, but Sunlight now taking a lot of damage, he still doesn't have that level 6, and he goes down, Flo looking for a Chronosphere. I don't think there's one to be had here, and that's 4 dead already. This, as you said, it's just a stomp.
Yep.
Dire's middle
They're
tower
just
is
not
under attack.
being allowed to do what they want. And because of that, the rotations they do have to be like so much smarter. So right now, B have the relocate. Admittedly, it's just one cooldown. They have all their tier 1s up, which you kind of expect 10 minutes into the game when there's no push. So as long as they have TPs,
Dire's middle tower
they just
has fallen.
can't really go for kills when the lanes are in the middle of equilibrium. So, pretty much,
Yeah,
the Void just has to play like a god right now, and they have to use the Quaff ult several times, kill the support, get out, maybe give up one thing to get 2, or trade evenly, try and get
Radiant's
themselves
bottom
back into
tower
the game.
is under attack.
It's not over, but it's pretty close if they don't start doing something.
It is 10,000 net worth behind at 11 minutes, over 10,000 net worth behind. For teams that were 1,000 net worth ahead per minute, statistically, no team has lost a game with that type of lead. And now Legion Commander going in for the duel. The Wraithfire Blast will come. Is the Sunstrike enough? They need a few more auto attacks, and they manage to get it. Sunlight still not level 6. He's in a lot of trouble being slowed by the tether here and going down. Oh gosh, this Legion Commander gets herself another 2 kills. She is 10, 0, and 5. Sonic Wave is going to get them the IO at the very least, and the time dilation doing some good work, but it's gone. Press the attack is ready. If anybody gets stunned up, Legion Commander can save them. And in the mid-time, okay. Did he just Sunstrike that as well? Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Thank
he
you.
just walked into that Sunstrike.
I hate...
Dire's
I won't say I
bottom
hate
tower
it, but
is under
casting
attack.
Invoker and catching all the kills when there are Sunstrikes, like, I knew Disruptor was low, but there was Action Top and Sunstrike.
I was watching it, it's fine.
But the viewers, PQ, the viewers! Either way, we're gonna see a push on bottom tower, because they've already had Invoker take mid, they've taken top. There is so little space right now for PD, and also they still don't have level 6 on so many of their heroes.
Yeah, and the ones they do have level 6 on, they're also on cooldown. So this is complete free roam.
Dire's bottom tower
I don't
is
even
under
know why
attack.
they're TPing someone down here. They can't fight this without their
Dire's
ults.
bottom
It's
tower has fallen.
maybe they don't expect them to go for any more push, and if they do, they're just TPing down to farm the wave. That makes some sense.
The Legion
When you
commanders.
TP like that, it's so like you can't do anything for the next minute because you're basically just walking around the map. You should be holding your TP for like when they dive you under the tower. What happened top should not be allowed to happen. Two heroes were just sat there with like no TPs coming in, and they don't have TPs on their support. They shouldn't be stood there. There needs to be like a plan every time something happens. Now they're at least going to get some space because Roche is going to go down. So
Not
maybe
maybe the
they
way you want the space.
no, but it's space, and they need to use this to get disrupt to his 6, which he's doing mid, and Brave King gets his 6. So now there's at least ults online, and by the time they fight with an Aegis, they'll have all their ults up. If they can somehow execute a fight and win it, they're back in the game to a small extent.
There is also
Chances of that are very slim though.
there's the rubber band mechanic. Obviously, maybe they actually, Bowden United get overconfident. A 5-man Chronosphere is landed. Co-op can Sonic Wave in, do some damage. It is really difficult, as you're saying, especially with the mobility on this Legion Commander. She's almost already level 11. She has an Omelette, a Blink, and then almost another 1,000 gold to boot at 14 minutes in.
Oh yeah, you're not killing her,
Dire's
regardless of
bottom
Aegis.
tower is under attack.
You have
has-
to kill the Wisp, you have to kill the Venge, you have to kill the Bane. Those are the 3 heroes that you can actually go on. Because Boka's probably just going to Yule's any kind of initiation attempts, and then your spells are going to get wasted. And if you do go on him, the Venge can swap him, the Bane can sleep him, the Io can relocate him out. There's so many defensive
Dire's
mechanisms.
bottom tower is
You
under
kind of have to
attack.
go on like a 2-pronged attack here, which is what they're doing really well. If the Void can like go in on the back lines and Chrono like the defensive heroes, or they kind of go in on the front like this is ideal for them.
No. Wraith King does have level 6 here. The Sunstrike comes out. Chrono does hit on quite a few heroes, as does the Time Dilation. Sonic Wave burns through the Legion Commander. There's also a Static Storm that's blocking the retreat. Roger, though, goes down, and now Legion Commander, she's gonna be back up, ready to duel anyone she can get her hands on. Actually having a hard time with that. Goes for the Faceless Void, doing a lot of damage, gets that kill. We're seeing Sunlight fall. The Quap still standing. Legion Commander ready to Omelette toggle back up to her life. She actually dies. A misclick there. But they still have 3 alive, ready to prod at the tower. There is a buyback as well on the Wraith King.
That mistoggle is very unfortunate,
Radiant's
but
middle
this
tower
buyback
is
is
under attack.
Not
Like-
necessary. What? Oh, she wanted the...
they want to just go end the game now. There's no ults up.
Oh, and the GG's been called. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and PD realized that. It was a really smart buyout in the end because they realized there's no ults up. They're so far ahead they can just go take the racks, and PD can't play from rack behind at this point. The fight was nearly good for them, but the Static Storm was
Dire's
kind of
bottom tower
entirely
is
wasted.
under attack. Victory.
And even with a 4-man Chrono, 4-man Sonic Wave, 4-man Tusk spells, they're just too far behind.
Yeah, that was... Yep. There's not much more to say about that, as you said. Either way, folks, that's gonna be it for Bowden United versus ProDota. There will be another series coming up in a bit. There's quite a wait because this one was so quick. So we'll see you guys again in about an hour and a half. Yeah, I mean, just this one, the Legion Commander got out of control. I think that's kind of all that can be said.
Yeah, they just completely outplayed them. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, I don't know. Exactly. It just unfortunately did feel like for ProDota that Bowden United had their number. Bowden United though played really well there. Excited to see more of them in this tournament as it progresses. I'm Llama Down Under. You can find me on Llama Down Under on Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. PQMZ doesn't have social media, but we both love the feedback on how to make the casting more enjoyable for you. And we'll see you next time. There'll be a short wait. The stream may go down, I'm not sure. And we'll see you shortly. Bye, guys.